House Minority Leader Blake Filippi is right around the corner, and he's going to wrap up Go Local Live here at the Rhode Island State House. Come step over a little closer here. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
We've got you squarely in the view everyone is watching right now. Talk with us a little bit about where the Republicans stand with sports betting, recently approved, trying to mount a legal challenge to the legality of this. We've seen multiple statements both from the party and from the House as well. Can there be any steps taken moving forward?
So I think there's two separate legal challenges. The party was talking about challenging as to whether the 2012 Lincoln approval and the 2016 Tiverton approval, statewide and local approvals, authorize sports betting. The new law which we've passed authorizes mobile sports betting. Under our state constitution, any expansion of the size or location of gambling must be approved both locally and statewide. And so we believe before I can pick up my cell phone and place a bet in Charlestown or wherever, that there may have to be local approval.
Okay.
And the people on the opposition are saying because all the servers are housed in Lincoln, that it really is still a bet being placed in Lincoln. So I think there's an open question as to whether sports betting is legal under the prior voter approvals. And before we build our budget around sports betting and before we invest all this money in technology, we should ask the Supreme Court to give us an advisory opinion, which they can do under our state constitution. And I think when Governor Kucheri submitted a request for an advisory opinion, it only took them 5 weeks. So we could do this quickly before the end of session and just kind of have an insurance policy before we go forward.
Now, was that the timing when Kucheri had done it? Is it going to be a little difficult now with the approval at the assembly level? Can it still be done even though it got approval here in the assembly?
So it's interesting. When you look at the case law on advisory opinions, the court has said requests from the Senate or the House must be for pending legislation, and from the governor, it's for legislation that is passed, but the governor's concerned about implementation.
Okay.
So when
Two sets of rules.
Yeah, two separate ones, because if you think the executive branch executes laws, the legislative branch passes laws. So there's an argument that because it's already passed the House, it is no longer right for an advisory opinion from a House or Senate resolution. We took the position that when we put in our floor amendment asking for an advisory opinion, that we delayed the effective date until a positive advisory opinion came down. So our position is that it would be pending until that advisory opinion, so it would be still right for Supreme Court consideration.
Let's just talk a little bit about the nuts and bolts of it in general. Obviously, the numbers for sports gaming have come in much lower than anticipated. It got a late start. Do you think that the numbers being put forth for mobile sports betting can then be looked at as kind of carved in stone if if the ones for regular sports betting were so far off?
No, I don't think that gambling revenues we can say they're carved in stone. Gambling revenues are highly dependent on the cyclical nature of our economy. It's one of the first things that people stop doing, and that's entertainment, going out to eat. So I don't think they are carved in stone, but the simple fact that we're so desperately relying on these non-consistent revenue sources to balance our budget, I think shows that the way we budget in this state is wrong. Right now, it's the middle of one of the largest economic booms the country's ever seen, and we can't balance our budget without raising taxes. Right now, we should have surpluses, which will get us through the troughs when we are in a recession. So we have a serious structural deficit in our state, and we need to start budgeting a little more responsibly, or we're going to have a lot of pain when there's a recession.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come and talk about this again with multiple statements, as you said, coming from the House, coming from the party. House Minority Leader Blake Filippi, thank you so much for taking the time. Okay, we're going to let him go. And that just about wraps up a day here at the Rhode Island State House for Go Local Live. Would like to thank my first guests, House Majority Leader Joe Shikarchi, Representative Pat Serpa, Representative June Speakman, and then in round two we welcomed Representative Carol Hagan-McEntee, and then of course Blake Filippi and George Nardone. So thank you for watching us today. We look forward to seeing you back on Go Local Live in studio, but looking to bring again the latest in news and politics to you straight from the Rhode Island State House. I'm Go Local News Editor Kate Hagel.